All right, just a quick test of the audio. All right, looks like the meter's moving. Gotta adjust my mic here a bit. Hey, silly singing grandma. So I'm glad to see at least one person's here that the announcement went out. Worship dancer, welcome. Judy, welcome. All right, cool. I'm trying to get my office to work now with my office setup to work with LeanBodyMind. It works just fine with serious keto, but as I've explained before, it's like a 3-layer system. It goes from YouTube Studio to Restream to OBS Studio. And I wasn't able to get any of it to work a few minutes ago. And then I got Restream working, but I can't seem to get it fed into OBS Studio, which is what allows me to do some fancier stuff on screen with multiple cameras and showing you my spreadsheet and things like that. So welcome, Pat, Cynthia, Robin. Song is broken. Welcome. Luann. All right. Cynthia says things are flipped. Yeah, it's flipped because if it isn't flipped, I get all confused. So I would rather have it mirrored so that I'm like right hand, left hand for me. If I have it not, if it's the other way around, it confuses me. So, for anybody watching this on the replay, what we've discovered after some troubleshooting on a few different devices with a few different viewers, it appears that YouTube waits like anywhere from a few hours to 48 hours before they add the live chat window. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I checked it. I don't know if it saves by default, but I know that on the previous videos, I had it turned on, and people that tried to watch right away, they're like, well, there's no chat window. But then people that watched it 48 hours said, oh, there it is. So now you know. So welcome, Sherry. Welcome, Bonnie. Here's the update. So yesterday morning, I was ready to throw in the towel. I mean, Wednesday night at, I don't know, 7:30 or so, I think is about when I hit 5 days. And then I was not feeling real hot yesterday morning. I was feeling really weak, and I went out to do my, morning 5-mile walk. And after about half a mile, I was thinking, I'm done here. I can't do this. I'm weak. I'm tired. I'm tired just going up a flight of stairs. I don't have it. And so I went back home. Well, actually I did a little bit of a loop around the neighborhood. So it wound up being about two miles. And then a little bit later in the morning, I started feeling kind of energized. I'm like, all of a sudden there was just like a switch. And I took my blood glucose and ketone readings, and I'm going to pop over to my spreadsheet. I don't know that I can share it with you without sharing my entire desktop. So I went from, where's ketones? Okay, here we go. So on Wednesday, I was a 66 for glucose and a 6 for ketones. But when I measured later, when I started feeling a little more perky on Thursday, I was 80 for glucose. So a 14-point move in glucose upward, and my ketones were down to 5.2. So my guess is that was probably some gluconeogenesis, my body creating some glucose to give me energy, and it seemed to work. Today, my ketones are back up to 6.1. Glucose is at 78. I've been a little bit dizzy. Like if I get up, if I'm like hunched down or, on the floor, like stretching out my back or something, I get up too fast, or if I bend over to get some pots out of a cabinet or something like that, I get a little bit lightheaded. I had a conversation with one of my viewers today who's got extensive experience with fasting. He's done a number of fasts over 30 days. And basically what he said is sort of what I was starting to discover based on my electrolyte spreadsheet, which is You don't need this many electrolytes. That a lot of the recommended daily allowances for electrolytes are while you're consuming food. And if you're not consuming food, all of these electrolytes can be a little bit actually hard on you. You don't, that's not to say you don't need any, you do need some, and especially important, I've discovered, is magnesium. But as he was running through his electrolyte ritual and recommended amounts, I was looking at my spreadsheet and comparing my daily intake of each and each day and what I was experiencing. So there were 2 days, the first day and yesterday, where I was getting some mild foot cramps. Both of those days, my magnesium intake was under 400 milligrams. Every other day, my magnesium intake was over 400 milligrams, no cramps. Additionally, I have had some pretty spectacular colon cleansing bathroom trips multiple times a day. And he had said, well, it's too much sodium. And I went and I looked at, well, I had actually quit taking so much sodium yesterday and didn't have those bathroom trips. So basically, what I'm starting to, if the fast were longer, I would have more of an opportunity to dial in what I think are the right numbers of electrolytes for me. But I'm not going to go a whole lot longer on this. Not enough to get enough data points. But the moral of the story is, it seems that magnesium is sort of the key, at least for me, to avoid cramping. And it will be interesting to see with, on the next fast, if I reduce the amount of other electrolytes, how my system behaves. So that's kind of cool. What else is going on? So yeah, tonight is Friday, right? Yes. So tonight between 7 and 7:30 will be a week. And I thought, should I quit? Should I stop at a week? Because if, by the time I hit 7:30, I wouldn't have any other meals planned for the evening anyway. Why not just play some Xbox or something to keep me busy, go to bed, wake up, get up, go for my walk, and then break the fast at 7:30 in the morning tomorrow. That will be a nice even number, 160 hours. So that's probably what I'm going to do is, well, I'm not going to say, unless something dramatic happens, it's going to be until tomorrow morning, and then I'll break the fast. He also had some very interesting advice, Keenan did, on breaking a fast. You know, when you're on YouTube and you say anything, everybody else has an opinion, it seems like. So, I got a lot of people saying all kinds of different stuff about, here's the right way to break a fast and everything. And he said, basically, you don't need to be, doing liquids for 2 days or anything like that. The key is, he said, based on his experience, because when he first started doing fasts, he was following all this advice and feeling like crap. So he said that, hello, chicken parm. He said that the key on the first 2 days, no carbs. Just no carbs. He says you can do, and small meals. The first day, small meals, no carbs. So he said he'll typically break his fast, the first meal with 2 hard-boiled eggs and a couple of slices of cheese. And then a little later on the day, he'll eat a little bit bigger, but again, all just, protein and fat, no carbs, like, cheeseburger, no bun, no condiments, anything like that, maybe some bacon. And then he said the next day you can, start eating bigger. Again, he said no carbs. I don't know. I may still have a keto chow shake. I kind of miss keto chow. And that's only like 0.8 of a gram of carbs, I think, if you're mixing it, or well, at least net, if you're mixing it with water and butter. So, anyhow, I'm going to give it a try. Now, the thing is, people are different. I say this all the time. It's sort of self-evident. Just like how some things will spike one person's glucose, but not another person's, it's entirely possible that the quantity of electrolytes a person needs varies from person to person. I mean, it's entirely possible, but I'll be experimenting on my next fast with his regimen and see how that works out. That probably, I'm thinking, is going to be November. Give myself a little bit of a break. To give you an update, so the second to last day in terms of biometrics. So weight started at 168.6. Today it is 157.9, so almost 11 pounds. Hang on for a second. Let me just calculate how many days. Oh, geez, I left my iPhone upstairs. All right. I'm going to have to use the Windows calculator, I guess. Bear with me, please. So today, I've been tracking almost every single day since I've been in keto on a spreadsheet. My weight, my blood glucose, my ketones. I'm a spreadsheet geek. So that minus, where is it? 378. It has been 827 days since I weighed under 158 pounds. So that's kind of wild. It'll be interesting to see where I am tomorrow. Let me get my tracker back. In terms of body fat, I started at 22% or 24%. And this is according to my Withings scale. And I think that runs a little bit high. I think, at least I tell myself that to feel better. So started at 24%, I'm down to 22%. Muscle mass started at 72.1. It is now at 74%. Now I'm not gaining muscle, but I'm losing fat at a faster pace than muscle. I have lost a little bit of muscle. So it looks like 6 pounds of fat, 5 pounds of muscle, roughly, about 4 pounds of muscle. The cool thing is, I hope, Dr. Jason Fung says, the weight that you lose and then when you go and put it back on tends to be muscle. So it's probably, the muscle itself is depleted of something, that once you refeed and get some protein in you, hopefully puff back up. I don't know. That's pretty scientific sounding. So anything else interesting? Blood pressure. I got to get back to the right spreadsheet. Blood pressure the last couple of days has been pretty spectacular. It can go up initially because your body feels like it's in a state of distress. So I've heard. But the last 2 days, yesterday, blood pressure 107/70. Today, 110/74. So I don't know. If this continues, and I monitor all of my biometrics, I could be off my last dose, a small little dose of lisinopril. It's cool getting rid of those little amber medicine jars. So let's see here. Well, Sherry said, kind of to my point about, electrolytes may be an individual thing that she has to load up on sodium. Luann says, started with you and did my longest 71 hours. Family pressure stopped me. That's a great thing. I don't have my family here. I'm not sure what time tomorrow Terry's going to be home, but proactively, I've been doing house cleaning today. Did laundry, everything. She's going to come in and be like, there's nothing for me to do. And I'll be like, awesome. Let's have dinner. Let's play a board game or something. Amy asked, what kind of magnesium am I using? I'm using the Keto Chow magnesium drops, and then I'm also using magnesium citrate from I don't know whom. Let me find the Amazon link. Search my orders. So I had started taking this before going to bed back, when I was having insomnia, and I found that it helped a bit. Not as much as Not as much as the perfect keto collagen, the Beauty Plus Sleep. That conks me right out. But this at least seemed to help. It helped me fall asleep anyway. That's the main thing. It helped me fall asleep. Didn't help keep me asleep. Bonnie, Arwen is no longer with us. Took her to the vet, and she was very arthritic. She had a tumor on the back of her head. That, coupled with all the other symptoms that I had mentioned in my previous video, we made the decision that before her quality of life diminished any further, it was time for her to go to sleep. So that happened a couple days ago, and I still feel kind of raw, but I didn't want her to have to go through what our other girl cat 15 years ago went through, which is where she just quit eating and started hiding. In We wouldn't see her for days, and then I'd be calling out for her. I'd be like, Nala, Nala, and I'd hear this sad little meow. And I'd have to pull out cabinets down in our storage area, and I'd find her like wedged between the wall and the cabinet, soaked in her own urine. And I just felt like I didn't want to go through the regret of waiting too long again and diminishing Arwen's quality of life. And it was very quick and peaceful, and it was just her in my arms. So it's a tough thing. I mean, if you've ever had to put a pet down, it's a tough thing. So anyhow, still got Thumper. He appeared in today's video, and he sleeps right by my head. um, so still got Thumper. He's hanging in there. Anyhow, let's move on to something more cheerful. Um, Things I've noticed, and I don't know if I mentioned this in one of the live streams or if it's just in the a thing I recorded with my iPhone when I was out with my morning walk. But a few days ago, when I was out walking, I'm like, wow, like I feel like my vision, at least my distance vision anyway, had gotten a lot sharper. I mean, I'm picking out leaves on trees from a long ways away, and it's like, wow, this is like crazy. Like I'm seeing way better. Unfortunately, not close up. Still need the reading glasses. And then when I was mowing the lawn yesterday, I'm like, man, I smell strawberries, and I shouldn't smell strawberries because um, even though we've got a little ever-bearing strawberry patch, it has never been ever-bearing. It is we get a bunch, or we used to get a bunch in June, and then it just stops. But it's been kind of continuing to go here and there, and we had just picked them a day or two ago, so we shouldn't like have any ripe strawberries. But I'm mowing, and I'm like, I swear I smell strawberry. So I stopped, I walked over, and I started kind of, digging through the leaves a little bit. And sure enough, there's this gorgeous strawberry, which I gave to my grandson. But I think both the vision and the improved sense of smell, it's probably something that's just built into us genetically. Um, you know, if you're a hunter gatherer back in paleo times or whatever, and you haven't eaten in a few days, to be a good hunter or gatherer, it would make sense that your vision would get better, so you could see and smell and be able to either pluck your meal or throw a spear through it. Anyhow, that's my hypothesis anyway. So Steph says Dr. Boz breaks her fast with bone broth, fermented foods like pickles or sauerkraut, and eggs. She recommends fasts over 72 hours be done with medical supervision. Okay. I don't have medical supervision. And I do have, though, so probably on day 2, I do have some, I found a no sugar kombucha. So looking forward to trying that. That kind of gets me a little gut biome boost and slightly fermented. So that's the plan. My plan is probably realistically, my first meal is going to be bone broth because I defrosted some homemade. And then second meal will probably, do the hard boiled egg thing. And, third meal, maybe ratchet it up to a little tastier protein. And, then we'll see on, was it Sunday, try a little keto chow for breakfast. I had, I had talked to Chris Bear. I said, hey, when do you ever fast? If you fast, how do you break it? And he said keto chow, but like 1/4 of a serving of keto chow. Just you got to start real small, and then like 4 chicken wings. And I'm assuming probably not like buffalo wings. I'm guessing maybe just broiled or something like that. I can't imagine, throwing a bunch of hot sauce into your body the very first meal. Like, hey, wake up, colon. So I think those are the major things. I've been still pounding through my massive to-do list. Been very, very busy all day long and or all week long. And the thing that keeps pushing every day is replacing my internet router and a couple of switches. But I've cleared out the access to that area down in my man cave over here in the storage area. And the only thing missing is the ladder. I'm ready. So I kind of took the atomic habits method of it's not about working out. It's about if you just get your shoes on, you know, that's the start. So and then momentum carries you. So I started by moving everything and then I'm ready to go. But I wanted to quick do this live stream before I took down my internet just in case, because it seems like anytime I try to do anything that involves computers or networking, what I think is going to be just a quick parts swap out winds up being a 4-hour exercise. So that's why I wanted to do the live stream right now. Greg and Barb Smith saying, just wondering if you've ever tried a rowing machine. Wife and I recently purchased the concept too and are enjoying it. I have, but what I've got a Bowflex, and that switches into a rowing machine, and that could be my cardio once it starts getting cold outside and I don't want to go out for my morning walk. So Jacqueline says she's done a lot of 10-day fasts and broke them with scrambled eggs. Yeah, I am craving scrambled eggs like wickedly. But I just did 9 hard-boiled eggs in the Instant Pot. I also just carved up 15 pounds of pork shoulder and bagged them into 5-pound bags because that's how big of a batch I usually do for sausages. Fortunately, because it wasn't cooked, it didn't make me hungry. But got that vacuum sealed, got it in the freezer, harvested a bunch of zucchini from the garden today. Got that, what I do is I, cut it into sort of stir fry size, pieces. And then I put it all on a cookie sheet and freeze it. I freeze it first that way, then take the frozen ones, put them in a bag, Ziploc bag, and put them back in the freezer. Because if you just put them all in the freezer unfrozen in a bag, they all just stick together and you can't get out any individual ones. So the only other thing, if for those of you who are watching, if you're a sous chef or executive chef member over on Serious Keto, I had mentioned that once I got done with the kitchen live stream yesterday, I had to go save a sparrow who had got itself stuck in the netting around my apple trees, and I got him or her out. So I felt pretty good. I felt pretty good about that. It was really tangled in there. So I had, a tiny little, not, it wasn't a cuticle scissors, but one of those tiny curved scissors that, sometimes comes in manicure kits, and, managed to get the netting snipped, probably a dozen different places around this little fella. And, and then I'm gently holding him. I'm going to call him a him. And, kind of just gave him a little, it's all right, little guy, it's all right. And then let him go. And I thought we were going to be like buds then, like he'd come and just fly onto my shoulder. No, that's not how it works with wild animals, only in Disney cartoons. So Stephanie says, really grateful for the fast this week in the live chats. Has been the easiest fast I've done. Wouldn't have been able to done it without you initiating this. Well, I'm glad you guys have been sort of a motivational factor for me as well. You've kept me going. You've kept me honest. There have been times when I've thought, yeah, no, just screw it. I'm gonna eat something. But um, I pride myself on having a high say do ratio. So when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And I said I was going to do this. So been it's been a good time. I'll wait like just a couple more minutes, and then I'm gonna close it up. Probably I'll close it up at 10 to the hour. Joy says your face looks much slimmer. Yeah, it kind of feels that way. And like under here, instead of being like a little bit saggy, well, I mean, it's still a little bit, but um, yeah, it does seem a little bit tighter. The thing is, it actually I feel like my skin apron down here is like more jiggly now. Um, and I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'll be the first to admit I've got body dysmorphia. I look at myself in the mirror half the time and I think, hey, good looking, don't you ever die. And then the other times I look in the mirror and I think, geez, you're still fat. You've got a solid 20 pounds to lose. So, and that's just, it's a mental thing, and I think maybe, for that reason, I think if a person has got severe body dysmorphia, a fast might not be a good thing. It could be something then that they take too far. All right. I got a bunch of people type something there while I was talking. See, I try and look at the camera as often as I can rather than look over at the chat window or, look at my own mug here in the camera. So congratulations from Jay, M. Greg. Trista showed up. The Marine Mom showed up. Stephanie says the jiggly right after a fast tightens up a bit in the days after. Um, my hope is that, yeah, as things, maybe fill back out, I start, lifting again, that we'll see some tightening up. Oh, I am down an inch on my waist. So that's that. But then again, there's nothing hanging out in my intestines. It'll be cool to see where we're at tomorrow. But yeah, just for grins earlier on today, um, in my workout room, what I like to do when I'm doing straight bar curls, and I've got those big, I forget what they're called, but the ones the things you put around the bar to really expand your grip and work your forearms. It works your arms, my biceps a lot more too, just having that super wide grip. But I got a mirror like right there, so take the shirt off, and back pre-fast, I felt like I was a lot more pumped and things were filled out. Now I look a little bit emaciated, but I can do for those of you, and it's probably going to be mostly guys over 50 that know who I'm talking about, but Frank Zane back in the day, and I think I was going to talk about this on my kitchen live stream, but then I got distracted. He was absolutely the best at doing the vacuum stomach. Like I think you could almost see his spine. It was, you could suck it in that far. And I can pretty much do that now. In fact, I'll probably take a picture of that tomorrow before I end the fast, just so I can put it in my thumbnail, so it's really clickbaity, with me looking just like totally concave right there below the rib cage. I've also noticed on this side, like I've got a slightly different shaped rib right here. It's like got a little knob on it that isn't on my left side. So I find when I do the vacuum stomach, I see that kind of sticking out. I don't know what that is. It's bone for sure, but yeah. So all right, we've hit 250. So this is the plan. Head to about 250. Just give you folks a quick update. I probably, maybe on Sunday, I'll do another one to kind of let you know how breaking the fast is going. And from there, that'll probably be it for the live streams as it's related to this fast. I'll have to compile all of my information that I've done some webcam video giving little updates. I've done some iPhone video giving some little updates, and then figure out how I want to put together, the whole post-mortem video. And that'll probably be at least a week, if not longer, because I want to see what happens to my weight as I start to refeed, what happens to my body composition in terms of muscle mass and so on. And I want to give that a little bit of time. The one interesting thing with the biometrics is, and thank you for the compliment, Sherry. The interesting thing with the biometrics is you get people from time to time, I will refer to them as knuckleheads, who you lose some weight and they're like, oh, that's just water weight. I had people say that, from keto. Oh, all you lost was water weight. Yeah, I lost 75 pounds of water. But in terms of the water percentage, started at 51.4. Then the following days, 52.5, 52.5, 52, 52.5, 52.8, 52.8. So I would argue that I did not lose water. It's not like I'm dehydrated or something like that. So Joyce says, will you offer, or would you offer t-shirts with LeanBodyMind logo on it? I love it and would definitely purchase. Yes, once I get the channel back up and running, I will go into Redbubble or Teespring or both and probably create some gear. I want to go back also. I'm not sure if it's on both stores because I got stores on both. And I want to, I'm kind of thinking I'm going to get rid of the alcohol related shirts just because it feels a little bit incongruent now to have them. I don't know. I don't know if I should leave those up or not. If some people want, I'm like judgmental. If people want to keep drinking, you can have a bourbon and stay keto. You can have dry wine and stay keto. So who am I to judge? It's just a choice that I made for me. But I don't know if people are going to think, wow, that's kind of hypocritical. He's got some t-shirts up that, have like a glass of wine versus a donut. Choose wisely, I think, is one of them. But then also I want to do a couple of different styles of serious keto logos. I've got like a grilling one. I've got a couple with my little cartoon face on there. And then I've got the Breaking Bad style. But, I've been thinking, should I have one that has, like the cloche on it, and then, do I do one with just the cloche and serious keto and one with the cloche, serious keto, and then the tagline, serious cooking, sensible keto? And, I'm also thinking, are there other logo type things that, I could do, like, the Coca-Cola sort of script, and have it serious keto. I don't know. I want to play around with some of those, but get more merch out there. My profit margin on that is extremely thin. Especially, when I give out the coupon codes or the discount codes to my channel members, which I should probably do again, just as a permanent reminder. It's unfortunate when people sign up as a channel member, you can't have a welcome message that goes out to them. I got to remember to mention that to my YouTube contact when I meet with her in August and tell her that would be a really cool thing. So then when people join, they're like, oh, here are all the perks again. Here's, all of this stuff. So, anyhow, what I was going for is when you first create any sort of a design, like on Teespring, now just called Spring, it puts in a price for you and then you can adjust it downward. And I just felt that a lot of the prices were way too high. So I brought them down and I get like a buck or two on a shirt. Redbubble, you don't get to set the prices. They set the prices based on what they think it should be. So and you don't get any sort of like a coupon code that you can give out. So if you're ever out on Redbubble looking for serious keto gear and you're like, wow, that's expensive, and Steve didn't give me a coupon code, that's on Redbubble, not on me. Vintage Discoveries, thank you so much for the donation. And let's see. Maria says, I believe most of the water is lost at the beginning day or two of the fast, just so you equalize a bit. Okay. That's probably, if it is from a source, I wouldn't be surprised if that's Dr. Fung. But now I'm going to wrap things up. I'm going to go grab a ladder, bring it down here into my storage room, and hopefully not mess up my internet too badly. So, as always, I'm so glad that you could join me. Let me just see how many total people we got here. Oops, wrong browser. 50. Not bad. Not bad at all. So, thanks, everybody. I'll see you probably on Sunday. Thanks for watching.